applying for your student visa can be a daunting process. To make this process easier, international students like me want to share experiences and tips for the student visa application and interview process.
The online application form times out if there's no activity for more than a few minutes. To prevent your progress from being lost or having to log back in, keep all relevant information at hand before you filling out the form.
Students from some countries like India may have to take an additional appointment at the Visa Application Center or the Offsite Facilitation Center for their biometrics before the actual visa interview process. This is usually on a separate day and a separate location than your student visa interview. If this is required, you may not be able to give your student visa interview unless and until you have completed your VAC or OFC appointment. Missing this additional appointment can result into your scheduled interview appointment getting cancelled or cause delays in your visa.
It varies based on reciprocity agreements between countries, but most student visas are valid for 1 to 5 years. In most cases, you may have visa validity beyond your program dates. However, your visa is always dependent on the validity of your I-20 or DS 2019. Some things to keep in mind are, if you have a valid visa and a valid I-20 or DS 2019, this means you can enter and stay in the US. If you have an expired visa but a valid I-20 or DS 2019, this means you can stay in the US, but you must get a new visa before being able to re-enter the US from a trip outside the US. If you have an expired visa and an expired I-20 or DS 2019, this means you cannot stay in the US and you cannot enter the US. If you have a valid visa but an expired I-20 or DS 2019, this means you cannot stay in the US and you cannot enter the US.
Long wait times and delays when scheduling your visa interview. You should start the visa application process and the interview appointment as early as possible, as soon as you receive your I-20 and pay your service fee. In case of long wait times, you can try to request an expedited interview process, but the criteria for this is consulate specific.
Be polite but confident when speaking to your visa officer. Smile and be friendly, but try not to come off as nervous. Be sure to be honest when answering as well.
Plan to arrive early for your interview appointment. Leave yourself enough time for any unexpected traffic or other delays.
Most students dress semi-formally or in business casual for the interview. We recommend not dressing too casually for the interview.
Create a checklist of all the documents you need and cross-check it before heading to the interview.
Familiarize yourself with common interview questions.
There may be some questions which are related to your immigration intent, such as why did you choose to study in the US and what are your plans after you graduate?
One of the reasons student visas get rejected is not having sufficient proof that they are strongly tied to their home country that will ensure they will return there after graduating.
You might get asked questions related to your funding, like who is funding your education, what is your parents' profession, and are you taking any student loan?
Questions related to your program of study. Why did you choose NYU? What is your program of study? Why did you choose your program? What was your previous schooling institution? What was your GPA during your undergraduate studies or in high school? In general, you should emphasize you are going to the US for educational purposes and do not have immigration intent. You are a qualified and credible student with the means to pay for your education and living expenses.
Other helpful resources: NYU's Visa Application Information Sessions, the website of the consulate or embassy you applied for your US visa from, the website of the US Department of Homeland Security, friend and family with experiences applying for US visas, guidance from other US students from your home country.
For more information on student visa application and interview process, visit this page of our website or contact OGS.